Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
So Antonio Brown is all over the news right now because, unfortunately, your boy's in another pickle. And when I say pickle, this one is actually kind of serious. So it looks like he was issued an arrest warrant. As the story goes, he was attending, it looks like a celebrity game or something like that. Doesn't look like he was in it, but maybe there and around. One thing leads to another as things seem to be happening with Antonio Brown. He leaves, comes back. He's got the ratchet, if you know what I mean. Lets off a few of those. And thank God no one was hit. But then subsequent to that, he was arrested, then released. But then the warrant came out after that. So the warrant came out after he was arrested and released. Maybe they got some more information or what have you. And so what's the seriousness of it is the charge is attempted murder. Yeah, so this is tough because from Antonio Brown, last played in 2021. I mean, it was probably a time, Jay, when for about 4 or 5 years with him going to the Pro Bowl, he was the most electrifying wide receiver in the league. And then, he gets traded by the Steelers. He ended up playing with the Raiders. He gets cut by the Raiders. Yeah. Goes to, New England, cut by them, and then goes to Tampa Bay. And he was with, Brady for those couple of years. He got a ring out of that. But then, he had the infamous walk off the field, taking off his jersey.
Yeah, remember that.
Right? And it's just been bananas for him since that. So this latest incident is just a string of things that just kind of make you scratch your head and wonder what's going on with this brother. So, question to you, my man: what do you think? Is this finally possibly the end for Antonio Brown and what was once viewed as one of the maybe greatest, or in the conversation for one of the greatest wide receiver that the league has ever seen? Now,
double back, you said the ratchet, because I don't understand all your language. The ratchet, what's that, a gun?
Yeah, well, I'd rather not use that because, sometimes the social media, gives us a little, they want to start taking down videos. But yeah, it was a firearm.
Oh, it was a firearm. And he pulled the trigger?
Yeah. They said they had witnesses there that say he pulled the trigger, thus the reason for the attempted murder charge.
So he shot at somebody and it failed, and now he's in the big world of trouble.
Yeah. According to him, he said he got jumped and they were trying to steal his jewelry, but what one would then argue, why'd you leave and then come back?
So you're saying, is it the end of him? Who really cares about Antonio Brown anymore? Does anybody really?
Yeah, a lot of people do, man. A lot of our listeners do. A lot of our readers do. Absolutely. And this is one of the more trending stories.
Well, listen. I wouldn't say it's the end for him. I think it's the end for bigger people. I don't think what he did. How many people has gotten like gun violence, use guns, and it's not the end for them. So I think it's just a continuation of a lot of the trouble that he's been getting in over the years, like you stated. And I think it's just, every time that something happens bad in the news, as soon as a bigger story comes out, the next day or the next week, it just pushes that old story out there. Everyone's saying, oh, wow, da-da-da. It's bad. You know what's going to happen. This happens all the time. People just forget about it. They start talking about it, chit-chattering, whatever like that. They forget about it till the next celebrity does something even bigger, even more stupid, more dangerous, more violent. So, I don't know how many people even think about Antonio Brown anymore. I don't. I mean, not to say I'm the only one, but I'm just saying, I don't think so. I think it's just going to blow over just like a lot of these other stories do.
Yeah, and I guess, so let me clarify. When I say the end, I mean the end, like do you see him going to prison, being locked up, like the end of him as a free man, or do you just, to your point, just file this under another way that a celebrity / athlete gets out from under this because they have resources?
Man, that's a good question, but I don't see him going to prison.
Okay.
I really don't. And I don't know why, just because I've seen so many of these celebrities do a lot worse.
Right.
You know, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, has Chris Brown ever spent any prison time? I'm not even sure.
Not prison, but he's been arrested a number of times, but I don't recall him ever going to prison.
Right, and he's done a lot of stupid things. I mean, he beat the crap out of Rihanna, and I don't think he spent any prison time. You know, so people have been shot at many times. He didn't kill the guy, right? He didn't kill the guy's not dead. Maybe if he killed the guy. Was he wounded? Was he hurt? Was he seriously hurt?
From the reports that I saw, no.
Right.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't rise to the occasion.
It
doesn't rise to the occasion.
So how do you think they got a warrant then for it? Like something's there, right?
A warrant for his arrest?
Yeah, they got a judge. You got to get a judgment from a judge to get to issue a warrant.
Well, you could get a warrant for the arrest, and like you said, maybe they might arrest him and he might be in jail for a day or so, and then he'd be out. You know, he's not going to spend any considerable amount of time in jail. It's not that serious. Nobody died. People, this celebrity world, they're used to these things. You know, when bad boys do what they do, which is just be bad, people become used to it, right? It's just like, it's not a big deal anymore.
Right.
Versus if someone who's never got in any kind of trouble pulled the trigger and tried to shoot at somebody, you know, it would be big news, and they would be in jail or maybe something. But they are so used to him being that bad boy that I don't see him spending any time in jail. Might he have to pay a fine or something like that, or maybe even a day in jail or so? But maybe even if he went in, he's out now, right?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not a big deal. People aren't going to make a big deal about him versus other people that they talk about so much. Like, if he was maybe a current player and he was currly, in the NFL right now, it would be a bigger deal to the world, and maybe he would be. But man, he's literally like a nobody.
Right.
I really think he's like a nobody.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, I somewhat see your point. Mm-hmm. I think the bigger issue, if that's even possible, because we're talking about an attempted murder, is just this incredible fall from grace, man. Like this, it's weird. Some folks have talked about him possibly suffering from CTE. Playing football, bad head, collisions, and maybe this is a result of that.
When you say some people are saying that, who's saying that? His people or him? Who's saying that? Is that a defense for his bad behavior?
No.
Because I feel a lot of athletes are using that as a defense.
Well, I haven't heard him say it, right? Which kind of makes you think maybe that's what it is, right? Because usually they would say the mentally ill don't know they're mentally ill, right? So you know what I mean?
So wait. So that makes you think that it's CTE because he hasn't said it?
No. The behavior is it's where people kind of listen. There are cases of where players post playing due to a number of collisions suffered from CTE, right?
Right.
And so the thought is maybe he suffers from that because, I mean, let's think about it. For the first 9 seasons of his career at Pittsburgh, you didn't see this, right? And then I think there was that major hit, that he took during the game. But it seems like he was still playing after that.
You sound like you being his defense attorney now.
Is
that what you're doing?
No, I'm not trying.
I don't think it has nothing to do with no CTE.
Listen. All I'm saying is that it just appears like it just doesn't make a lot of sense from the outside looking in to where you see him just his behavior just changed so dramatically even before he stopped playing. It just doesn't make any sense. You didn't see it. You've got a sample size of 8-9 seasons, and then it just falls off the table. To what end? You don't know. You don't understand. So I guess it's all human nature for people to try to understand and try to find an answer. And hell, CTE with the football player sounds as good as any. So I think maybe that's where some folks maybe kind of be thinking about that.
Easy excuse. People hide who they really are in the beginning when they come out into this entertainment world. I mean, shoot, everybody
is, bro.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, didn't everybody thought Whitney Houston was an angel? Till they found out that she was really a ghetto girl from Newark, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Well, those of us in the ghetto saw right through that.
Well, I'm just, so.
And I don't want to disrespect the dead, but
Well, no disrespect to dead, an amazing talent, but
Right.
she was ghetto. Everyone was blaming Bobby Brown. Oh, how could this sweet girl get with this thug Bobby Brown? Oh, come on, she was probably more ghetto than he was. She was more ghetto than he was, 100%.
All right. Well,
So people put on this fake. It's almost like when you go out on dates and you're not really dating the person, you're dating their representative. These entertainers, a lot of times, not all the times, a lot of times their representatives are out there for the world to see. We don't really see them until they get comfortable, they get rich, and they get famous, and that, oh, I'm gonna let the real person come out now.
Very possible. Listen, I hope if it is something more than just bad behavior, that there is something much more systemic to it. I hope this brother finds the help that he needs. And because I certainly don't want to see him hurt, and moreover, don't want to see him hurt somebody else. So
Absolutely.
we'll see what happens.